Hello, folks! Welcome to the Owl Talk. Here's Paradise, and I'm super glad you're here. This is the place where we're not just learning English, we're building something bigger, like fluency, like confidence, like becoming the best version of our English speaking selves. Whether you're just starting out or you've been at this for a while, my goal is something simple to help you feel comfortable speaking English and at the same time make learning fun. No boring lectures, no boring classrooms, no pressure. Just us learning, laughing, and growing together. One word, one phrase, one conversation at a time. And hey, this isn't just my channel, it's your space too. So if you ever have questions or ideas or anything, don't hesitate to drop a comment below for me. And oh, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And if you think that you need subtitle to this video, just you can click that little button down here and you're good to go. Alright, let's get started and unlock that confident English voice you've got inside. Ready? Let's do this! Let me ask you a quick question. Do you ever feel like you're putting in the hours, but the results just don't show it? Meanwhile, top students seem to have it all figured out. They ace their exams, balance extracurriculums, and even have time to fun. What is their secret? What is it? Here's the spoiler. It's not about studying more. It's about studying smarter. In this video, I'm sharing the exact strategies top students use to stay ahead. These aren't your typical get organized tips. Instead, you'll learn techniques backed by science and tested by high achievers. So let's get started. Active recall, stop reading, start retrieving. But what does that exactly mean? Let me explain it to you. Top students don't waste time rereading notes and highlighting textbook. They use active recall to challenge their brain to retrieve information, which, as a matter of fact, strengthens memory retention. So, for example, instead of rereading a chapter, close the book and quiz yourself. What were the 3 main points? You have to think about it to answer this question. This is called not to be passive. So for vocabulary, cover the definitions and test yourself repeatedly. So let me give you this example. One student I coached created these flashcards for every lecture topic. And I can remember he reviewed them while waiting in line or walking to the class or in his free time. Those moments added up and it showed on their test scores. He was pretty happy with the results. And it works because your brain learns better when you actively retrieve information and knowledge. It's like exercise for the memory. A spaced repetition. Timing is everything. What does that mean? Spaced repetition ensures you revisit material at specific intervals to reinforce it just as you're about to forget it. So, what is it exactly? This method transforms short-term knowledge into long-term mastery. Like, for example, study today and then you review it tomorrow, and then after 3 days you revisit them. It's a week or after a month, you try to keep it fresh inside your memory. There are tons of tools for this. Flashcard tools like Anki and Quizlet are the famous ones. They automate this process actually. They remind you exactly when to review these words. And a very pro tip I can give you in this part is instead of cramming, use the spaced repetition to spread your study sessions over time. It's a game changer for memory retention. It's in a way that your memory keeps fresh on the items during the time in different time frames. Gamify. Of course, gamifying your learning study would feel good. It feels like a game, so it's fun. Top students use applications like Brainscape or any other applications or set up their own challenges to make studying fun and competitive, even if they're competing with themselves. So create quizzes with friends. Add a small prize for the winner to make it exciting. It has to be fun and it has to be like a game. And it works. You know why? Because when there's a competition and rewards, your brain associates studying with fun rather than stress. And when something is exciting for you and is fun for you, you are more excited to do it. It's clear. Break study sessions into focused 25-minute sprints with 5-minute break. Use these short bursts to study sharp and avoid burnout. So during breaks, you can reward yourself by, for example, watching a fun movie or doing some stretch, or maybe you are a foodie type and you want to grab a snack. Anything. There are a lot of apps in this part that they can help you to stay on the track. You can simply use a reminder too. The best way to learn is to teach. I'm sure you have heard it before. Write notes or explain concepts as if you're really teaching someone else, simplifying complex topics into bite-sized pieces for your imaginary students. You can start with a blank page and write down everything you know. Identify gaps and revisit those areas. So if I want to give you a real world example for this, that I had was this one student I had. She practiced by teaching her younger siblings about the topics that she was working on with the science book. Not only did they remember the process, but she also made it easier for herself to understand, and her siblings were really enjoying the process. And it works. You know why? Because when you explain something in your own words to someone else, you deepen your understanding and retain the information better. Divide your page into 3 sections: main notes, key questions, and a summary. The key questions will be the part for you to quiz yourself later, instant active recall. So at the end of the week, rewrite your notes into a single page summary. It forces you to condense and organize the material in your own words. It will give you a very comprehensive understanding of that topic. Top students prioritize creating a focus-friendly environment. Noise-canceling headphones, for example, applications like Focus Wheel, and clean your desk. These are a very important part of you keeping your mind focused and categorized. If you can't find peace at home, consider libraries or co-working spaces. And I can remember there was a story. I had this one student, and she transformed a corner of their room into a dedicated study cave. She called it so, study cave. With no distractions there was, and it had a consistent setup. In that way, her productivity just skyrocketed, as she just told it myself. And it works, because your environment can either boost your focus or sabotage it. Design one that sets up for you for success. If you think you need to have some music in the background, you can use it, but it should be instrumental music. Otherwise, it will distract you. Or you can use the beats to create a soundscape that signals your brain. The signal would be this: it's time to study. When you hear that tone, you know it's time to study. Over time, the playlist becomes a mental trigger for focus. You can also create your own playlist, but consider it having different subjects, but they should be classical for problem solving. And the sounds should be helping you with the focusing and the reading process. You know what? Top students build studying into their routines by anchoring it to habits they already have. So if I want to give you an example for this, there would be reviewing flashcards or morning coffee. So the moment that you have your morning coffee, you remember, oh, it's time to remember to review my flashcards. Or you can, for example, summarize the day's lessons before bedtime. So before bedtime, that would be a routine for you. I had this college student that she had this review vocabulary list for herself at the post-lunch routine. It was her routine for post-lunch, and it was so automatically that she did it. She did it before even thinking about it, without hesitation. It was just a habit. You know what? Because when starting is tied to an existing habit, it feels natural rather than just to be forced. Big goals, like for example, studying for 4 hours, of course, it feels overwhelming. Top students break them down into smaller and actionable tasks. So, for example, learn 10 key terms like slangs, expressions, anything. Or, for example, solve 3 math problems. Or, for example, write a summary of chapter 2. Keep it simple and to the point. Write these goals on sticky notes and tear them down as you complete them, or you can simply strike through them. That visual progress feels incredibly rewarding. For this week, your challenge would be this: pick one strategy from today's video and commit to it for the next week. Whether it's active recall, Pomodoro technique, or transforming your environment, consistency will lead to results, as you know that. Let me know in the comments which tip you're trying. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more strategies in the future videos. And remember, don't have to be born brilliant. You just need the right techniques, right strategies, and right system. See you the next time!